regular installment in series of my build. I'm going to call this a supplement, but I did want to get something out there for you guys this week, just to let you know I'm still here, I'm still working on this project. But I've got some house guests that we are entertaining this weekend, and so we've got people sleeping and can't make noise in the garage because we've got people in bedrooms right above the garage. So just don't have time to really dive into this cylinders and getting that engine cleaned up, but I did want to explore why we have this hole in the number 4 piston, and I'll show an image of that here. That hole is coming from a lean condition, and I knew I had a lean condition in 3/4 to full throttle because it just bogged. That was the kind of your telltale sign when I was up in that range of the throttle motion. Everything was good at idle. The bike started fine. Choke circuit worked well when you started it cold, but once you got up to 3/4 throttle or so, it was just boggy. And then the day that the engine blew, that piston, it was very hot that day. I had moved from a higher altitude in Minnesota to nearly sea level here in Los Angeles area, so a little bit more dense air. I know there's some temperature difference there though too, so I'm not sure about that piece. But because of that number 4, I wanted to get into the carburetors here and just check out that number 4 carburetor right away and see if I had a plugged main jet, or what was causing that lean condition. Why wasn't I getting enough fuel, or if I was getting enough fuel, why was I getting too much air? And they're kind of the same thing, but not really. There's enough fuel. Your fuel to air ratio should be 14.7, can't think of what the units are. I know it's 1 gram of fuel, but I'm not sure what the units on the air is. Cubic feet, that couldn't be right. Anyways, so let me show you what I got in these carbs here. Okay, so over here on the bench, I wanted to get that number 4 carb open, and I checked out that main jet, and you'll see the hole right next to it is where the bleeder jet's supposed to go. I've got that over in a jar here. They're both clean. You can see light right through the hole. I will run carb cleaner through all of this and see if I had a clogged passageway, but these carbs are in really good shape. I even measured the float height and it was correct. So I don't think the problem was getting a lack of fuel. I think the problem was getting too much air. And where I think the fault is these carb boots. So the carb hooks up here, and then this is the head, and they connect onto here. And there are these O-rings that sit in that groove. I'm starting to think that that was failing. These boots are in good shape. They're pliable. I don't think that was my problem, but I think the problem might have been here. So I do have new O-rings from a Suzuki kit that are going to go on there. And my understanding is that you want to go with a fuel-resistant O-ring there, not just any general rubber O-ring from your hardware store, because plus the temperatures that are incurred here. So I think that was my problem. I think that's why there is a hole in that piston. So that's my supplemental. Next week I hope to get right back into the engine and get those pistons off, get the pins out from the connecting rods to the pistons. I've ordered a new set of rings that are on the way. I've got lots of rings here, but I just think it's probably smart to go with a new set of rings. I am going to hone these cylinders, so that'll be in an upcoming video. And I think that crankcase has got to come open, unless I can clean it out real good. I mean, we've got pieces of metal. Well, let's talk about that. So where did the metal go that was in that hole? There's likely some pieces of metal that have gone down into the crankcase from that. There's also, though, that hot spot. You know, when you're running lean, you've got a hot spot right at the spark plug, and it'll literally melt away little bits of aluminum, and that gets blown out the exhaust. It gets attached to the electrode around the spark plug. So some of that aluminum is no longer there, but I think there's a good chance that something got popped down into the crankcase, and so I'll probably have to open that crankcase up. Not entirely thrilled about doing that, but I think it'd be a good idea, and you know, why not? We're this far in. So that's my supplemental for this week. Thanks. Click like and subscribe, and especially subscribe if you want to get alerted when I upload new videos. Trying to do it weekly, but sometimes life gets in the way. So thanks for watching.